गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. There are two things. One is teaching and second is learning. In this exchange of knowledge, where the teacher and the students are involved, the participation of both, the teacher with sincerity and the student with intensity, if they interact, then only there is a possibility of transfer of knowledge. And then the question comes, what kind of knowledge? Knowledge is again of two types. One is the objective knowledge and the second is the subjective knowledge. Objective knowledge can be verified in a laboratory and found out how far it is correct. Subjective knowledge is a personal experience and our own evaluation about our own inner condition is the only way of finding out whether we have understood or not. This is what the teacher was telling. Namam karmani limpanti name karma phale spruha itimam yobhijanati karmabhihi nasabadhyate. There is a technique which I am following, the teacher says, that I function dynamically in this world and yet I neither get frustrated nor do I get arrogant because of the failure or the success respectively. Is it possible? Of course, I am living that life. It is possible for you also. There is none in this world who can be labeled as unqualified to lead a life of success. Everybody is born to succeed. Failure is very difficult. So, how it is to be done? This is what the teacher has said in the earlier verses. There are two things. One is, when we are functioning in this world, if our attention is on the inner climate, something like this, when I am talking to you and when you are listening to me, what is happening inside and what is happening outside? So if my attention is what is happening outside, I will be carried away by your responses or reactions, as the case may be. And if my attention is what is happening inside, I will not be influenced by what is happening outside. And this is what makes all the difference. See, suppose, I am not going to do that, just an example. Suppose I call any one of you right away and tell, see, you have been coming from day one. Will you please summarize what I have said in last 4 days in 5 minutes? So I am going to call some of you, okay? Let us play the game. See, the hearts have started coming out. I can see the hearts coming out. My God, now this fellow can do anything, we know. Now why this is happening? Because attention is outside. When I come over here, how I will be talking, whether I will be able to talk or not, what people will think, his life is different. Now he is talking philosophy. So whenever our attention is outside, while we are functioning in this world, we create impressions. And those impressions make our character. On the contrary, When you are interacting in the outer world, doing your duties, that time you do not allow the impressions to be formed on your mind. Then what happens? Then you gather wisdom. So as our life grows, I saw one big hoarding, some women's magazine, growing magazine, and in between apostrophe, growing women's magazine. Now growing woman means what? Those who are becoming old, or those who are becoming growing like this. So when we are growing in our life, are we growing old or we are growing wise? Two things. Body growth makes you old, and wisdom growth makes you wise. And this is possible when you learn this technique. When we are functioning in this world, let no impression be formed on the mind. On the contrary, learn from every experience. When you learn from every experience, every moment you are growing wise. And those who grow wise, what is the sign of wisdom? The teacher told us in the second chapter, Gatasu na gatasuscha nanushocanti panditaha. A wise man is he who never grieves. You know, Bombay was dying, therefore Crompton grieves. So, if we are growing wise, we refuse to be miserable in life. Now, those old people who are miserable, they have grown old and they are not grown wise. So, name karmani limpanti, this is the impression of our activities. Let our mind remain absolutely immaculate, pure. And second, name karma phale spruha. If you are enjoying your own life at every moment, you don't bother about what will happen in the future. Bothering about the future is like the husband and the wife were fighting at 2 o'clock at night to decide what should be the name of the child. It became so strong argument, logic. And the people in Bombay, people are very generous, social. They came. Hey, what happened at 2 o'clock you are fighting? No, we are not fighting, we are arguing about the name of the child. What should be named? Oh, congratulations, so you are going to get a new arrival in your house? No, not yet conceived. See? Name karma phale spruha. Those who are living in the absolute present, they alone are living. Those who are living with reference to past, they are living death. And those who are living with the worries of the future, their life is aborted existence. Once you understand this principle in life, then you will see you are really living 100% at every moment. This is what Ishavasya says, Jiji Vishe Shatagam Sama. Desire to live fully. Not 100 years. What will you do living 100 years? Making others miserable. So, itimam yobhijanati karma bihi nasabadhyate. Then the teacher says, evam jnatva kritam karma purvairapi mumukshubhihi kuru karmaiva tasmatvam purvaihi purvataram kritam. And this is a technique which was followed by all the successful people of the past. So don't conduct new experiments on you. The results are already available. This is one very important thing I'll tell you. Whenever you get or you seek for shortcuts in spirituality, you are cut short. There is no shortcut. Everything has got a rhythm in its unfoldment. You can't say, I'm in a hurry, I must know how the bud looks like when it becomes a flower. So you may be in the hurry, but nature alone should open that flower, the bud. But if you are in a hurry and you take your terrible nails and start opening the petals by your physical force, you will not only destroy the bud, but never a flower will come out, nor there will be any fragrance created in an artificially opened bud. The same thing happens when we lead an abnormal spiritual life, all kinds of acrobatics being done. Then such people become perverted, frustrated, dejected, and they come to a conclusion. Spirituality is an opium given to the fools. And I was one of them. See, friends, take the lives of all the great masters. Purvaihi purvataram krutam. Therefore, the best thing for any seeker who really wants to make best use of his life, get inspired by some great master in your life. I tell you, Bhagwan Sri Krishna, Bhagwan Ramachandra, Prahlad, Dhruva, these people cannot inspire everybody. Because we are doubting Toms. We start, was there really Krishna a historical reality? Because he was born abnormally. He is not a biological phenomena. Take all the Pandavas. They are also not biologically normal births. Take the Kauravas, 100 of them. Impossible. Take Karna. Take Draupadi. All the heroes of the whole of Mahabharata. Everyone is a non-biological phenomena. And you go on accepting it. So, people who have got this kind of argumentative, confused mind, they will not accept. Never mind. Now take those masters who lived in your presence or nearby, this century or last century, and watch their life. How they could achieve so much on the same time scale on which you and me are living. All the great masters who have achieved, they function on the same time scale on which you and me are existing today. We all have the problem. Actually, I want to do this thing, but there is no time. Those who lack time, they are not able to utilize the available time in a creative manner. Therefore, instead of doing experiments on ourselves, let us get inspired by the lives of the great masters who really made a difference in this world. Guru karmaiva tasmattam purvaihi purvataram krutam. Now, why this so much of importance about karma activity? Kim karma kima karmeti kavayopyatra mohitaha katte karma pravakshami yajñatva mokshase ashubhat. Because the secret of karma is such that you will get extremely confused about do's and don'ts. Kim karma, kim akarma. Kavayaha api atra mohitaha. Even the so-called wise, intelligent people, they get confused when the right moment comes. We all have this experience. If somebody has a problem, we have got all the solutions. When we have the problem, we have got all the confusions. When we can solve somebody else's problem, we are philosophers. And when we succumb to the problems of our life, we are philosophers. How it is so much difficult, because kim karma, kima karmeti. What is the karma? What is to be done? What is not to be done? Even very great people get confused. Isn't it in Bhagavad Gita we have seen Arjun, who has fought so many wars, he got confused. Whether I should fight the war kill including Dronacharya, Bhishmacharya, Kripacharya and win over the battle, or I should withdraw from the battle? There was a big confusion. Now this is the most important topic in Bhagavad Gita. If you have identity crisis, you can never sort out your own duties. All those who are confused about their duties in life, they are having only one problem, and that is identity crisis. This is what happens. Take for example, our great politicians. If they are helping their mama, bhatija, near and dears, there is nothing wrong. But they should help only as a mama, bhatija, not as a minister. Think. When I as a father help my son, it is natural. But am I helping my son as a father? No. I am helping my son as a minister. And this is where corruption begins. See? Once we understand this principle, therefore, kim karma karmeti kavayopyatra mohitaha tatte karma pravakshami. Therefore, I shall tell you, pravakshami, I shall tell you exhaustively, clearly, without leaving any ambiguity, tatte karma pravakshami yajñatva, having known which, you will be freed from the confusion of your own life. See? Particularly youngsters, they really suffer in their life only because of this one point. They are unable to take decisions. Constantly under the influence of the confusion, whether I should do this or whether I should do that. The other day, one young girl, she wrote me a letter. I don't know who is she, where is she? And subject, email. I get lots of emotional blackmail. That was one. So there was one letter. Subject, failure in love. While coming, I was listening. Don't tell anybody. Kishore Kumar's song. When I get down, immediately I switch off the radio and I become Sharif. But don't tell anybody. So, there one song was, Ye jo mohabbat hai, ye unka hai kaam. So that girl wrote a letter. Failure in love. Respected Swamiji, I loved one person, trusted him. After some time I came to know he took me for a ride and he very clearly told, I never had any intention of marrying. Who will marry you? And he left me. And my heart was broken. So with that broken heart, I got it repaired and then started looking after another fool. And then after some time, there also I felt, Swamiji, now tell me what shall I do? So I wrote her, am I the third in the queue? One line. Very, very important. So here, tatte karma pravakshami yajñatva mokshase ashubhat. If you are clear in your vision, nobody can deceive you. If you are deceived, you deserve deception. It is we who become the doormats. And then complain, I don't know, everybody uses me, because you make yourself available. Lead with the dignity of self-respect. Don't get carried away by anything. Then only really we can make something great out of our life. So, yajñatva mokshase ashubhat. Now, next statement the teacher says, कर्मणो ह्यपि बोद्धव्यम बोद्धव्यम च विकर्मणः अकर्मणश्च बोद्धव्यम गहना कर्मणो गति. Karmanaha gati gahanaha means it is really very difficult to arrive at the right conclusion about three things. First, karmanaha bodhavyam, what should be done must be known. We must know what is to be done at what time, in what proportion, in what way. First thing. See, I'll give you an example. Once it so happened, I was going with some children. Children were not small babies, maybe about teenagers, 12 to 16, 17 age group, in a bus. And we were in a very joyful, nice mood. We had a long drive. And it was about 3-4 o'clock, time for the snacks. Because I believe in eating. I keep my stomach full and head empty. Many people do the other way around. They keep the stomach empty and head full. So, I said, hey, come on, it's a beautiful place. That water is coming from that bore well and the big tree. And such a nice setting. Let us stop our bus here and enjoy our snacks. And then we'll go to the temple. We should never go to temple empty stomach. That is my principle. If you go with the empty stomach to the temple, you don't look at the God. Prasad kya raha? That is why chappan bhog. So, the organizers, no Swamiji, we have already planned. Organizers are those who are interested not in the welfare, but in the farewell. So, no Swamiji, we have already planned. We will have our snacks, we will go to the temple, reach there by 4:30, have darshan, have snacks, and by such and such time we will be in Pune. I said, it is okay on paper, but we need not, because we have only planned, we forget. Suppose the paper is lost. Now let us do like this. No, it is prestige issue. No. It's not like Prabhu Icha. And we reached that temple out of the place. And by the time we reached there, that driver lost the way because there are no signs. And again, like that, by the time we reached that temple in the forest, not even one mombatti, one candle. And everybody was hungry. 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. And then everybody was trying to avoid me. And after that, now how to be? I said, now look here. Let the driver start the headlights. We'll all stand on 2 lines and give something we'll eat. And now the temple is closed by God's grace. So after eating, we'll go back. After all that was over, the organizer who refused my suggestion, he came. Namaskar. Swamiji, I'm extremely sorry. Because of me, everybody is suffering. I said, no, you are only suffering. We are enjoying. See? Kim karma kima karmeti. Karmanaha cha api bodhavyam. We must know what is to be done at what time in the right proportion. If this you are able to do, you conquer the whole world. This is very important. So this is to be known. Karmanaha api bodhavyam. Bodhavyam cha vikarmanaha. We must know what is to be avoided when. Many times when we don't understand, we do such terrible mistake. And because of that, people avoid us. We must have that common sense when to talk what. The other day, we were in somebody's house and we were all sitting for taking food. And the phone came. When I go to somebody's house, I lift the phone. I don't hesitate because every house is my house. So I lifted the phone. Yes. गुप्ता जी का? हाँ, गुप्ता जी का. क्या काम है? एक मैसेज देना था. मैं गुप्ता जी बोल रहा हूँ. Then he told, I am extremely sorry to inform you such and such thing has happened. Thank you very much. Put down the phone. किसका? मेरा फोन था. We all had our food, everything. There was a big gathering, about 20-25 people. All puja poti was done. After everything was over, and while going, I said, Gupta ji come. And I said, now I am going, you cry. This was the problem. Now you handle. And don't destroy the joy of all the people. Very, very important. Second example. Once I was coming by train, long time back. Very long journey, 36 hours. And when we are coming somewhere, that one man, he was sleeping, not well. And there was one doctor, he was also there. And the train was going. And he did not get up. So wife tried to wake him up. He was not getting up. So then I told the doctor, I said, Doctor Sahab, do one thing. I am suspecting something. So you just go and just see whether he is still there or gone without ticket. So the doctor, I said, don't tell anybody. All right. He just went and said, sab theek thak hai. And then he winked me. I said, I understood. And then I took that wife of that man. I said, Amma, chalo chai pite. Then I told her very clearly. I said, Amma, I'll tell you one thing. You have patience. Don't cry. If you cry that your husband is no more, immediately, according to rules, you will be asked to get out of the train in that small station. Train will go and you will suffer. So have patience. Just for the cinema of it, the doctor will give an injection. Nothing will happen because nothing can happen. And after you go there, then you declare, by then you will have 90% of the problem solved. This is very, very important in life. When to talk what, when to do what. Otherwise, we make a mess of our life. So, karmanaha api bodhavyam bodhavyam cha vikarmanaha akarmanascha bodhavyam. Akarma means rising above good and bad. If we want to live in this world, we have no business to label anybody as somebody is good or bad. We rise above that. Akarmanascha bodhavyam gahana karmano gati. It is very, very difficult to understand about it. Therefore, now I shall tell you the secret of leading a scientifically beautiful life. This verse number 18 of 14th chapter is the heart of this fourth chapter. The teacher says, Karmani akarmayaha pashet, akarmani cha karmayaha, sa buddhiman manusheshu, sa yuktaha krishna karma krita. See, what are the things? First, karmani yaha akarma pashet. He who is able to understand the withdrawal in activity. Karmani, inactivity. Akarma, withdrawal. He who is able to dynamically function and yet reserve the freedom of withdrawal, one. And second thing, akarmani cha karma. And he who has totally withdrawn and yet he is cheerful and happy. When these two things you are able to do in life. See, get involved fully in this world and yet reserve your freedom to withdraw from the world. And when you are totally withdrawn, don't lead a life of dejection and depression. आजकल का जमाना आ गया. What is Kali Yuga has come. See these common topics. When we were young, we used to carry a handful of money and get a gunny bag full of rice. Now, you carry gunny bag full of money and get a handful of rice. Where are we going? All the time, those old times. Friends, please remember one principle. Nobody is interested in our past. Everybody is interested in their future. And this is where the old people go wrong. All the time bringing the dead past. Jab hum jawan the, who cares? Think. All the time bringing the past. During our time, we used to do like that. Today's children do like that. During our time, the girl used to have so long hair, they used to do the jhadu on the road. Today's girl, they cut the hair. Sanskriti ka nash ho raha hai. Is it a haircut Sanskriti or what? Very, very important. Once you are leading a life of withdrawal, there should be contentment, cheer, happiness, and no loneliness. When you are alone and not lonely, when you are dynamically functioning in this world, yet you have total freedom to withdraw from the world, then you have learnt and understood the secret of living scientifically. How important it is. When this is not understood, we get involved beyond our capacity. When we get involved beyond our capacity, we suffer. The other day, this happened in USA. There was, some house shifting going on. I was also there. So I told that man, I said, hey young man, you have got brains. You don't have muscles. So let these shifting people, they do it. You watch from a distance. No, Swamiji, I will help them so it will be done fast. I said, look here, don't do. No, Swamiji, it's okay. And in that he lifted one big suitcase or bag, something. Last 6 years, Swamiji, probably what you told was true. Now the disc has slipped. After some time you also sleep. Why do you do that? Can't we assess our own capacity? And when we are able to understand this, then you will see you will function dynamically, reserve your freedom, and when you are totally withdrawn, you are not bored and frustrated. I don't know, I feel so bored and lonely. See? The sign of spiritual growth is when you are alone, you are not lonely. And the sign of material frustration is you exhaust yourself and yet you don't die. Therefore, this is the secret. Karmanaha, akarmani, akarmayaha paschet, akarmani cha karmayaha. Now the second view of the same. Karma means all the modifications, activities. Akarma means that which is supporting all the modifications and activities. No changes can be established without an unchanging principle. This is the rule. If you have seen some big projects, the other day I was in Tehri, Gadwal, where they have constructed a huge hydel project on Ganges. So the chief finance person is very close to me. He says, Swamiji, I will take you to all the different places where people are not allowed through that underground tunnel and all that. I said, but will you bring me out or not? Then I will come. Otherwise, who knows, Baba, anything can happen. So, when I went there and he showed me so many beautiful things, this is like that, that is like that. And then, the whole thing, we have made an exhibition. I said, all right. And then he started explaining the photographs, which is the first phase, second phase, fourth phase, 10th phase. And when all that he was showing, after that was shown, I said, what was the reference point to establish that these pictures are belonging to the same project, or you can take the clippings like we have got in TV. The joke is said and the clipping of laughter is put. It is not every time somebody laughs. All the laughters are only the clippings. So how do you know whether it is the same thing? Then I asked him, he said, Swamiji, you are very, very, very inquisitive. I said, yes, you have to have reference point, otherwise how do you know? Then he said, Swamiji, do you remember this big rock? Yes. Now this rock is shown in every picture. On the first day, when we took the picture, the land was flat. After we started doing the work, the rock was covered half, you cannot see from here. Then afterwards, the rock was seen only partially. And now when the whole our project is complete, the complete rock is hidden from this view. And this is how slowly the growth of the project is depicted pictorially. If this is understood. In the same manner, all the modifications in our life are called as karma, and they are possible with reference to an unchanging principle. So Bhagavan says, Karmani akarmaya pashet. Akarma means blissful conscious existence. It is a technical term. Like in our computer, we have got technical terms. Cursor. It is not a curse on anybody. Mouse. It is not a biological. It is a logical. Think. In the same manner, akarma means divinity. Karma means matter. So, karmani akarmayaha pashet. He who is able to express the divine bliss in and through every action, he alone has understood the secret of living joyfully. See? Karmani akarmayaha pashet. If you are able to express your inherent joy in every action, such a person can never be miserable. How simple life becomes. This is one thing if you start doing right away. How should we start doing right away? Listen joyfully. Don't listen under the pressure. Okay, abhi the khatam nahi hua, what I should do. I am praying to the Lord. Oh Lord, keep his mouth shut. Keep his mouth shut. Keep his mouth shut. After 70 minutes, your prayer will be answered. Once you understand this principle, let every small little thing you do cheerfully. How you cannot attain perfection in meditation? Because once you get that technique, when you eat cheerfully, when you sleep cheerfully, when you walk cheerfully, when you talk cheerfully. This one principle you follow. Karmani akarmayaha pashet. This principle you have digested and manifested in your life. Karmani akarmayaha pashet. And akarmani cha karmayaha. And if you remain, I think I have decided to retire. Never retire from life. Live every moment cheerfully and happily. And how to live cheerfully and happily without retirement? One simple principle. Find out some purpose. Live for that purpose. And you can find out purpose in your life when you are grown up only beyond your own family. Otherwise, the same mind, the same children, get out of it. And discover some goal of your life. And work for that. And then you will see all the omissions and commissions will be equalized and you will discover something great in your life. And this is what the teacher says, Saha buddhiman manusheshu. He is a real intelligent giant who can make the best use of his life. You know, they say, don't work for money. Let the money work for you. In the same manner, make the life fully available to you. Sabuddhiman manusheshu. There will be no regrets thereafter. All those people who have regrets in their life, you know what are the qualities of types of regrets? One regret. I wish I should have gone to Satsang some 30-40 years before. You cannot undo the past. Kimahagam sadhuna karavam. Second is, why did I do like that in my life? I don't know. Now also I regret. So the wrongdoings create the load of regrets on your mind, and avoiding the right actions at the right time create frustration about your own past. If a person in the old days is carrying this load, when everybody has gone, children have completed their 12th standard, started going to college. From that day onward, children want to avoid the parents. They are just waiting for 2-3 years to be over, and then they will go away with their own wings. And then, तुम जब होगी 60 साल की और मैं होगा 65 का. And that time, leading a life of frustration. I don't know, I feel so lonely. When that Munna was here, it was such a nice thing, but he never listened to us. Now what we should do? No, you don't have to do. You are frustrating, very high quality frustration. See? Those who have frustration in their old age, they have lived the wrong way their young age. Very important. Now what we should do, Swamiji? Never mind. Decide now to change. It is never late. It will be too early for the next life. Sabuddhiman manusheshu. So what is the buddhimatta? What is the intelligent way of living? Intelligent way of living is refuse to be miserable with reference to the past. Refuse to be miserable with reference to the future. In short, refuse to be miserable. Then what will happen to misery? Distribute. Be generous. Friends, those who are happy dispositions, they never make anybody unhappy. And those who are frustrated inside, outside they may wear a plastic smile, but they can never distribute happiness. Therefore, sabuddhiman manusheshu. And what is the highest achievement in life? Think. Only 2 things. If you are able to love everybody in spite, not because, in spite. And when everybody loves you, what a joy it will be. That is the fulfillment of life. Sabuddhiman manusheshu. Otherwise, you may have lots of money and lots of cars, lots of houses, but sitting inside, jaane kahan gaye wo din. You will go to the same place where the din has gone. So, sabuddhiman manusheshu sayuktaha. He alone has learned the art of living scientifically. Yuktaha means he who knows the art of living life scientifically. Saha yuktaha, saha krishna karma krut. He has lived fully and successfully. See, when the death comes, are we able to face the death? Hey, why are you late? Do we have the courage to kick the world and quit? Or all the time, I don't know what happens. These days I am feeling very lonely. You don't go. You stay with me here. Why? Because when I die, I will take you with me there. I had a friend of mine, Punjabi. You know, Punjabis, North Indians, they have this Karwa Chauth. Karwa Chauth is a vrat done for the welfare of the husband and a prayer to the Lord. Oh Lord, let me get the same husband next 7 lives. So, my friend used to say to his wife, you do anything, I will not observe. You go to this Baba, you go to that Baba, you go to this temple, you observe. I don't mind. Karwa Chauth mat karna. Don't do this Karwa Chauth. Because this life is enough. 7 lives, who want this load? See, Saha Krishna Karma Krut. When you have lived a life of fulfillment, then alone we have really lived, or else we are carrying death all the time on our head. Now, such a person, yasya sarve samarambha kama sankalpa varjitaha jnanagni dagdha karmanam tamahu panditam buddhaha. Buddhaha tam panditam ahuhu. Wise men call such a person as an intelligent person. See, when, it is something like this. Andho mein kana raja. When all people are blind, Ekaksha will be the monarch or the king of that society. Isn't it? So when ignorant people call somebody wise, it is a condemnation, not appreciation. Buddhaha, when wise people appreciate your wisdom and knowledge, then that is a real certificate. See, wisdom and truth is never determined by majority. Please remember this. And wisdom and truth, therefore, is never respected in democracy. Because democracy is the rule of majority, and majority is of fools. And therefore, in democracy, it is the fools who rule the wise. Do you mean that I don't mean I made a statement and I am over? See? So, Tamahu Panditam Buddhaha. To such a person, wise man call that here he is a really great person. Pandita means what? Pandita means, Panda is a technical word. Panda means that faculty by which you are able to discriminate real from the unreal. And once you are able to discriminate real from the unreal, what you will go for the real. And what will be your attitude toward the unreal? An attitude of indifference. Wise people live in this world happily because they are able to ascertain, find out what is the reality of the world, and all the illusions are being considered totally indifferently. And this is how the wise men live in this world. So, when we take this world, in this world there are two aspects. One is permanent, other is temporal. To become permanently miserable because of the temporary things is the height of foolishness. In the second chapter, Bhagavan told, Matra sparshastu kaunteya shitoshna sukha agama nityaha kantitikshasva bharata. Every experience of our life, be it good or bad, it is beginning in time, remaining for some time, and getting over after some time, and therefore it is temporary. To become permanently miserable because of the temporary small little events of the life is not the way of the wise. So what is to be done? Have courage to go through the difficulty with a smile on the face and confidence in the heart. Then only you are leading a proper life. So, Saha Tamahu Panditam Buddhaha. To such a person, the wise people call that he is really a gem. Now who is that person? Yasya sarve samarambha kama sankalpa varjitaha. Samarambha means undertakings. He whose all undertakings have this great quality. One, kama varjitaha, sankalpa varjitaha. Kama varjitaha means you do not begin anything for the satisfaction of your selfishness. Kama varjitaha. Whenever you function in this world without the stink of selfishness, you are able to bring out the best in you. See? This is the first principle. So Kama Varjita. Second is Sankalpa Varjitaha. Don't go on imagining. Sankalpa means imagination. That, now I have done this thing. Now I have to construct one temple there. After the temple is constructed, people will start coming over there. When people will start, I estimate around some 2 million people to come here. And even if you take about 100 rupees per person as a yearly donation, I will have this much, this way. Go on calculating. So whenever you calculate about the project that you are doing, your mind is constantly not with you. Yasya sarve samarambhaha kama sankalpa varditaha. Therefore, what it means? It means let all the great activities manifest through you, rather than you struggling to do something good. See, if you see the lives of all the great masters, one or two example I'll give you. Bhagwan Raman Maharshi, Bhagwan Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, Bhagwan Nityananda Maharaj. They have not gone into making into any institution. Around them things were built up. See how important it is. Otherwise, small little thing. I remember one friend of mine, he told me, Swamiji, when you come to Rishikesh, you come to me. I said, why should I come to you? He said, no, I have got a kutia. I said, suppose I come, what next? Swamiji, this is my kutia. This is the bathroom. This is the toilet. This is the kitchen. What next? I have seen bathroom toilets of international disorder. What next? How much we get all the time involved. And when a call comes to go somewhere, I wish I could have gone to that place. But there is nobody here who will look after the kutia. And therefore I decided, now I will not go, let somebody go. I am very happy in my kutia, looking after the number of bricks that I have put. How beautiful it is. Don't hold on to the stones and the bricks in this world. Let the dynamism manifest through you for the benefit of the world, and leave this world unclaimed, unknown. That is the beauty of real life. How important it is. One day, in one place, a journalist came and said, Swamiji, I want to interview you and put your interview in the newspaper. I said, okay, Suroja. When shall I come? I said, right away. No, but I'll give you the questions. You prepare. I said, I don't prepare, and you also don't prepare. You fire, I fire. Let us have firework. And then she started a standard questions. What is your name? Who are you earlier? Why did you get sannyasi? Why did you get married? So I brushed those questions my own usual way. Then she said, by the way, how do you want to leave your footprints in this world when you die? I said, first of all, you will not remain there to see my footprints. You will die before me. Swamiji, why are you telling like this thing? I said, when you talk about my death, why shouldn't I bless you with a death? Very difficult to talk to you. I said, you have chosen, I have not asked. It's your fault. Not mine. Now your second part. I will leave footprints in this world if I am walking in a mud. I don't walk in mud. I fly in the sky. There will be no footprints. See? Yasya sarve samarambha kama sankalpa varjitaha. When you do not have the load of desires and the load of expectation, then you are 100% in the present. And when you are in the present all the time, you are one with the presence. The moment you go away in the past, it is called as the past tense. The moment you go in the future, it is called as future tense. When you start living in tenses, you leave tensions. Come out of that. So, yasya sarve samarambha kama sankalpa varjitaha. And how this is possible? Jnanagni sarvakarmanam dagdha. He who has burnt away all the karma in the fire of knowledge. Now, what is the fire of knowledge and how the karma are burnt away? The teacher says, see, all the karma are burnt away in the fire of knowledge does not mean that you have become totally indolent and inert. Now, there is an equation. Action plus doership is called as deed. You know, legal deeds are signed. What is a deed? Deed is when a statement is authenticated as owned by somebody, then it is called as a deed. In Hindi, Sanskrit we call it Kriya plus Kartrutva-abhiman is called as karma. There is no result of Kriya or action. All the results are that of the deed or the karma. Now, when you are told the wise man burns away all the karma in the fire of knowledge, means what? He has deleted the sense of doership under all his undertakings. And once you are able to live your life without the arrogance of doership, what happens thereafter? Actions will start flooding out of you as an expression of joy. How important it is. And the moment you are able to understand this, how to understand, I'll give you one example. When you are, for example, performing before an audience, Meera ke Prabhu Giridhara Nagara with the harmonium kawali is going on. So your attention is how the people are appreciating. And suppose you are sitting before your own Lord in your room, and there you are chanting Bhagavad Gita. Dharma kshetre guru kshetre samavetaji utsavaha mamaka pandavaschaiva kimakurvata Sanjaya uvacha. That time you are not doing a performance on the stage. And therefore, when you are offering your prayers to the Lord, not as a performance, you don't get excited, tired, you do not have success or failure associated with your prayers. But when we come on the stage, the same thing which I did before the Lord, it becomes a performance. Then I gave a talk, I gave a musical concert, and so much appreciation came. If appreciation doesn't come, people here are dull-witted, they don't know anything. See? Where it happened, some place, I was called, and all 70 not out, huge crowd. And they said, Swamiji, we want to hear something from you, tell something. I started. And once or twice, I tried to crack them. But all were Avatara Buddha. So, once, twice, thrice. And after that, my talk, then I took that turn. Because all were, waiting why we are alive. That was the, face reading. So I finished all that. When everything was over, there was one girl in whose house I was staying. She came in my car. She said, Swamiji, today you were totally different. I have never heard you so seriously. I said, you don't know my tragedy. Do you know when I became miserable? You also became miserable. I said, yes, today I was very miserable. What was the reason? When your jokes go flat, it is the height of misery in life. Try. There is another extreme. Some people cannot tell the jokes, but they tell. That is another tragedy. You have to laugh. So, here, yasya sarve samarambha kama sankalpa varjitaha jnanagni dagda karmanam. When the sense of doership and the sense of enjoyership, when these two things are removed from your undertakings, you are a wise person. And therefore, all the great people have attained such great achievements, but they never claimed even once. Tulsidaji never said, because of me, so many people have gone into Rama Bhakti. Mirabai never said, now I am singing before the Lord, recording ho raha hai ki nahi? Narayan. No. That is the meaning, Jnanagni dagda karmanam tamaho panditam buddha. And further, tyaktva karma phala sangam nitya trupto nirashrayaha karmani abhi pravrittaha api naiva kinchit karoti saha. Now such a wise man, tyaktva karma phala sangam, he is enjoying the very performance of the actions. This is one very important principle. If you are enjoying what you do, one, you will not be tired. Two, you will not be bored. And when you are not tired, you are not bored, then only the other people can participate in you fully. See, the other day I was in US and, youngsters were there. All, teenage, 16, 14, 13, like that. And, the most abnormal children, if you want to see, you go to US. So, I was to Swamiji, you talk to our children something. So, we are the, tape recorder. Start. Before that, there was a talk for all the parents. About 500-600 parents. And the whole thing was giggling, laughing and all that. A break, coffee break for half an hour, and then all those fellows came and sat in front of me. And then I had to talk. Not a single one of them was ready to have eye contact. Somebody is doing, somebody is writing, somebody is cutting the nails, somebody is doing something. And you talk. So I spoke like a robo. After the half an hour robo was over, then I said, if you have got any questions, you may ask. Then one girl got up. Swamiji, when you were speaking to our parents, there were so many jokes. When you spoke to us, there is not a single joke. Why? I replied, because you are all there. Why should I have jokes? You can talk to people if they participate. You cannot talk to furnitures. See, this is what the teacher is telling here. Tyaktva karma phala sangam. If the speaker is enjoying and if the listener is enjoying, then the result is there and then. Therefore, if you imagine that now I'll go, listen, collect all the knowledge, and when I go, I pump that knowledge on my grandchildren, poor grandchildren. You grow wise, spare them. Therefore, tyaktva karma phala sangam. And second, nitya truptaha. Nitya truptaha is ever content. You can get ever contentment only under one condition. If you are with something which is infinite, finitude is the cause of discontentment, and infinite is the result, is the expression of the total contentment. So there is only one way, nitya truptaha, we can be when we hold on to something higher in life. If you hold on to something very finite, mundane, you can never have contentment in life. And how do we know whether we are content or not? One sign. Our Patanjali Yoga Darshan says, Santoshat Anuttama Sukha Labha. Contentment delivers unsullied happiness. See? If you are content, you will never have frustration in your life. Contentment not only with reference to money, not only with reference to the houses or anything, contentment in every respect. Why should we get disturbed if others don't agree or don't appreciate us? Be very, very clear about this. We have contentment only under one condition, when we are totally independent of the whole world. The more you try to please the world, the more miserable you will become. Even God cannot make everybody in this world happy. And you want to make everybody happy, guarantee is you will be miserable. Therefore, be content. As the things are happening, let them happen. Don't get carried away. I don't know what is going to happen. The other day I went somewhere. Then Amma was saying, Swamiji, see, terrorism, corruption, the whole world is in turmoil. Why? Now, I said, Amma, do you know your Krishna? Yes. I said, he was the most terrible terrorist. He saw that all his own children, they fought among themselves and died. See? So, when the Lord is not able to stop his own children from doing something wrong, can you stop? If you read Bhagavad towards the end of Bhagavan Sri Krishna's life, he has always told, look here, don't respect saints and sages. And yet all those youngsters, because belonging to the Yadav clan, they became so arrogant with the power. And they went to that great Mahatma and started playing fool with him. The result was, they were cursed and the whole clan was destroyed. Therefore, let us have very clear thing. We have not created this world. We are not responsible for the chaos. Therefore, in your own area, you act beautifully and live this world cheerfully. Don't worry about the whole world. You are not Hercules to carry the globe on your head. You will be crushed down. Nitya truptaha. And the next one is nirashrayaha. Nirashrayaha, not depending on anything or anybody. The lesser is our dependence. The more perfect and happy we are. The more you are dependent, the more miserable you are. If there is zero dependence, you are absolutely blissful. So, nirashrayaha. On what we remain dependent? On money, on people, on our relations, on our children, on government. So many things. The moment you stop taking support of anything and discover the inner strength, then you will see you have nobody to complain against. Such a person, karmani abhipravrittaha api. And with this attitude, when a person is dynamically involved in this world, his involvement does not fall in the purview of the law of karma, where sin or merits are created. Then what is happening? Through him, life is expressing the eternal bliss. So, karmani abhipravrittaha api naiva kinchit karoti saha. Means, whether such a master is functioning dynamically or is totally withdrawn, he is a free bird to live in this world beyond the limitations of do's and don'ts. It is something like, you may sit in the car But if you don't drive the car, traffic rules are not applied on you. As simple as this. Live in this world dynamically, sincerely, but don't have the sense of doership. The law of karma will not operate on you. The moment we understand this, such a wise person is he. Further, nirashir yata jittatma tyakta sarva parigraha shariram kevalam karma kurvannapnoti kilvisham. Such a great master, nirashi yata jittatma. He has nothing to expect from the future or the people. Yata jittatma, ever controlled within, and tyakta sarva parigraha, not holding on to anything or anybody in this world. We have great faith in Yogakshemam Vahamyam. LIC, give your policy money and you die. We will take care of your people better than you can take. On that LIC we have faith. But the same statement stolen from the mouth of Bhagavan Krishna, in him we don't have faith. When the Lord says in the 9th chapter, Ananya Chintayanto Mam Ye Jana Parivipasate Tesham Nityabhiyuktanam Yogakshemam Vahamyaham. That we don't have faith. We have faith in this funny institution. We don't know when it will collapse. So, nirashir yata jittatma tyakta sarva parigraha shariram kevalam karma kurvannapnoti kilbisham. Such a person, when he is allowing the life to be lived through him, he is neither creating sin nor he is creating merit. This lifestyle wherein you do not create sin and merit is the lifestyle of a wise man. And this is possible for every one of us. This thought is further extended in the next few verses. We will see it in our next episode. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.